So good morning, everyone. For us, it's good afternoon. We're sitting in the heat in Kasese. Everyone is just sweating. But I guess in New York, it's early morning and much colder. So thank you very much for being here, getting up so early. And yeah, we just want to use this opportunity again for strengthening the relationship between our amazing staff here in Uganda, as well as some of the board members in the US. I am right now, actually, as I said, with the team here, and we will talk soon about what it is and who they are. But yeah, you just hear from them rather than from Mark and myself. So why don't we just start with introducing ourselves briefly, who we are and what we do. We're going to pass around the laptop here so you can just hear it from everyone, and then maybe also if Kadu and Leslie and Stacey, you could just also introduce yourself as well. That'd be great. And just so as a quick recap, this is being recorded also so that those who didn't or cannot join today, sadly, will be able to rewatch it.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Ruka John Bosco, the Community Liaison Officer at BAMA, but based in the Greater Rwenzori region. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Wilbert, Finance and Accounts, Rwenzori Albertine Project.
Oh yeah, hi everyone. I'm Kamanze. I'm the Transport and Logistics Officer, Albertine Region.
Hello everyone, I am Nakanjako Maria Tendo, and I am the Office and Admin Assistant this side in the Albertine region.
Hello everyone, my name is Stella Mrenje. I'm the Mama Rescue Project Coordinator, Kasese and Kabarole districts. Thank you.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Donald Kagulire, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer for the Mama Rescue project here in the Rwenzori region. Happy to meet you.
And then usually we also have Claire, who's also on the team, but unfortunately she cannot be here today. Julia, hello.
Good morning.
The board, it would be great if you can just briefly introduce yourselves. Maybe Leslie, you're in the top left corner for me.
Oh, hi, I'm Leslie. I am on the board. I've been on the board for, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe even close to 10 years. I've known Mark for a very long time. We trained as OBGYNs together here in New York City. And I'm delighted to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kadu Leombia. I have been on the board for somewhere around that same time frame, 10 years or so. Currently in New York, from Seattle. My father's actually from Uganda. So, Oliochia, everyone.
Thank you.
Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia Hoagland. I have been on the board for 5 years. I'm in New York currently, and very excited to be here and learn.
And then our very recent, very fresh board member, Stacey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stacey Kramer. I just joined the board. Very, very excited. My background is in women and children's health programs, working on them in Africa. And I also am the mom to a former little NICU baby who's now doing really well. So very excited to be here.
And one thing that I just want to add is that Stacey did her MBA at Columbia University in New York. And remember when we got this big grant of the $95,000? Thanks to Stacey. So she's the one really, she was at the source and she was presenting BAMA actually. So she's one of the main reasons we got the money.
Oh, okay, that's great. Thank you.
Cool. Well, everyone knows Dan and Mark, I believe, so we can skip that as well as mine. So the idea for today is just really that since you guys already met the team in May, I think it was.
May, I think, yes.
And again, just a recap, we're talking about the team that is starting the amazing Mama Rescue in the West, in Kabarole and Kasese. You already met them in May, and a lot has happened since.
Stella, can you just
Oops. So you just gotta, get an opportunity to just hear about the project and the amazing steps. I was there 2 weeks ago, and I can guarantee very exciting times and major milestones. So I want to give the opportunity to the team to just really share what has been happening and what's going on, and then just keep this as a very fruitful discussion. And I invite the board to already ask some questions in the chat, and then we can just put them in there after. And just to finish, I want to say is that I talked to the team, and it would also be great to get some answers from the board. They want to get to know you as well. So we want to use the last couple of minutes as well for them to ask questions to the board. Mark, do you mind either speaking up or muting yourself? Stella, maybe just take it away.
You can unmute. You can unmute.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll take us through the overview of Mama Rescue since May. So we have been able to roll out the Family Connect, which is the system that sends reminder messages to mothers to remind them to go and attend antenatal. So maybe a little bit of background on Mama Rescue. We have 3 components, and one of those components is the community component, where the Family Connect falls. We've also been able to work with the 200 VSLAs that were identified. I think we talked about them in May, and JB will expound more on them. So we're able to carry out trainings of the trainers, or our VHTs. Actually, we call them ambassadors, who help us to train these VSLAs on the component of savings for health. Then we also have, yes, I talked about Family Connect. So we also were able to train our transporters on the application. When we met in May, our application was still delayed. It hadn't started yet. But I'm happy to inform you that at least now we've rolled it out, and we have completed the training of our system users. We were able to train health workers who are going to help us to register mothers who have come for ANC, and we're able to train border riders. We're able to train drivers who are going to help us with the referral system. So we also have the health facility component. This component is basically trainings of health workers, because we want our mothers who are referred by health workers or community health workers to receive quality of care. So we were able to train to do the ANC training, new ANC guidelines. We were able also to carry out the BMOC trainings. And also for the transportation component, I want to inform you that we have already started the transportation component. And we have like 8 referrals that have been made. Our midwives are registering mothers, and it is an ongoing activity. I'm going to give opportunity to other colleagues to add on. I think I'm going to invite JB to add on the VSLA component, and then Dawn will come in with a Family Connect component. Thank you very much.
Yes, let me take it on from the VSLA aspect. We've had, sorry, VSLA is Village Saving and Owners Associations. These are small groups of community people that come together that are bound by same characters, same objectives, and they decide to save, for example, every week some little money that can help them improve themselves and as far as their household, as far as their homesteads are concerned. So they keep on saving this little money and borrowing it and helping themselves through. At the end, they bring this money back with some little interest. So our intervention was to work with these groups since they already save, they already have a sense of saving, so that they begin thinking out of the box to save for health. Like I said in our last meeting, that we realized that many people think of saving for bigger developments, forgetting that any development begins with healthy living, for example. Nobody develops when he's sick, nobody develops when he's dead. And so we introduced a saving for health. We call it S4H, saving for health aspect in these groups. And so we already started working with 200 groups that I've mentioned. And our trainers, our ambassadors, like Stella said, have already started taking them through sessions. We have a manual that that guides them, and we have 4 sessions for them. One of them being financial literacy, but the most important session is saving for health, where they will save for themselves, for health of themselves, their family members, and any other dependent. So to cut it short, out of the 200 groups that that are undergoing this training or these sessions, around 22 have started saving. And I don't know, I can't turn this one in $2, but the last time I checked, I think they have already saved around 2.3 million shillings. That's around how many dollars? Okay, maybe $1,600. But we are talking about
630.
we are talking about a space of less than 3 months, and they've started saving. To us, this is quite encouraging, because this is something that is new to them, but very important. Putting money aside for any health eventualities, that if I fall sick, my child falls sick, I have somewhere to start from. I'm not starting from zero. And if I get it from there, I don't need to put in interest, because they now have understood that money with interest is money for business, and sickness is never business at all, is not bringing any profit. So this it may be very difficult for one to understand, but to this common person, community person, to understand that I need to start thinking and putting something aside for my health is very, very important. And secondly, related to this, the use of the transport that Stella mentioned about. They are the very people that are going to use this transport, or that have already started using free transport of Mama Rescue. But this transport that we give them is not all that they need. It is part of what they need. If we take them to facilities, if we take them to health centers, what happens? Do they have some little money for food, for example? Do they have what it takes to be sustained at the health facility? If a midwife asks for gloves, if a midwife asks for cotton, are they able to at least run to the pharmacy and buy this cotton? To me and to us as the Mama Rescue team, it is what encourages us to keep on moving, keep on talking to people, so that they see Mama Rescue as a starting point for themselves. But again, to understand that the ball is in their hands, they have to make themselves capable of contributing to where Mama Rescue stops. If Mama Rescue stops at transport, I should be able to buy, for example, a medication that is not commonly found in some government facilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, JB. So there's actually a question from Mariana in the chat, and she was just wondering, it's really good right to what you just said, is she was wondering how much is it for one mother to save? Like how much would it cost? How much do they have to save during pregnancy to be able to then have the border transport, the mama rescue to actually deliver?
Okay, thank you. Our average transport is between 12 and 15,000 for a mother. That is
$3.75 to $3.50.
Yeah, around $3.
Yes, for a mother to be transported from home to a health facility, and this means around how much? 1,000 or even less. But this money is
1,000 will be 25 cents, just for context.
Oh, yes. So this is not something that is easy. It's just a sacrifice. It's just a commitment of this mother, of this pregnant mother, to put her resources together and decide to dedicate a little portion for her transport. And now that BAMA with its project Mama Rescue comes in, this money, as of now, it can be used to, for example, do the baby's shopping that they're expecting as of now. But in 2 years' time, they still need to, save this money for transport, for sustainability of this aspect of community transport, which is something very new from these communities that we are working in.
As I walk over to pass it on to Donald, I just want to remind the board of it's really not in the Ugandan culture to save, right? It's just really not a thing here, and where we serve the communities. No, to save. What about, okay, let me talk to the team. We are in a circle, just so you know, we're in a circle. The moment I speak out, 8 people look at me, be like, raise the hand. So yeah, I let you speak.
Maybe if I there is this question of what was the biggest surprise? Yes. So really where we are working, it is a difficult terrain. And so it was a rainy season, and the roads were really, really slippery, and we did not have good vehicles. So maybe if I could give Kamanze an opportunity to talk about that surprise to us. We even had to carry sodas because some of the roads, some of the places we could not reach with our vehicles. So we had to walk there, carry sodas on the head. So Kamanze, take it on. Oh, okay. So it's part of the motivation of these people because they have come. We are not giving them transport refund, and we are taking some of their time. We are meeting them in their sitting time. However, we are requesting for more 2 hours or 3 hours. We might even end up taking 4. So as a motivation, we give them sodas as to also, as a refreshment, to keep them going. Let me hand over to Kamanze, our transportation and logistics officer, to take it on for the difficult terrain. And then after that, we will hand it to Donald.
Your computer, so I'm going to show a picture.
Oh, okay.
Very much, Kamanze, my name, the transport officer. Yeah, it's a bit of I think a surprise, not once, not twice, but I think since we started the project, the terrain, like they said, is extreme. We started with the first van, which is a 4x4, very good one. But later in the process, we realized that the 4x4 van has a short clearance. So basically, literally, we have always been getting stuck from time to time. And then later we tried to improvise, and head office They gave us a Land Cruiser, which has a much better clearance, but it had run enough mileage. And that one tried to help in the process, but due to its age and it has to, lose to get challenges from time to time going to the garage. We have had a lot of, mechanical and repairing works on it, making it the most expensive, transport we have had, I think, maybe in the project. So of late, we have had several challenges, definitely when the rainy season comes. We have had to, fail to move. Then we have to carry things on our heads. Yeah, and that's the maybe by next year, if our directors can give it a consideration, we would appreciate much to have maybe another older but better, vehicle, which has a better clearance, because the van is beautiful, but all the time we have to get stuck, because when it rains, the roads are slippery, and then it has to sit on the suspension, which involves, people having to push. And sometimes it is hard to get the people to push it. In the dry season, then you have so much of the garis created by the run of water. And then it has also a challenge of going through those garis since they are so deep. So the thing we would appreciate if the board and other stakeholders would really look into the transportation project aspect, because at the end of the day, the remaining 3 or so years, rather 2 years, we have no choice but to move, and we have to move with a vehicle that is, in a good condition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kamanze. I'm going to hand over to Donald to take us through the Family Connect component and how far we have gone.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Stella. Thank you, everyone, for joining this meeting. Yes, once again, my name is Donald Kabarole, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer, but also lead on the Family Connect intervention, a technology solution that disseminates health messages to pregnant women. This Family Connect is a tool, or was a tool that was used by the Ministry of Health to disseminate messages. But in this project of the Mama Rescue, for this reason, we adopted it and modified it to help us sensitize 40,000 expectant mothers as one of our results. So this Family Connect was rolled out in 25 health facilities, 13 in Kasese and 12 in Kabarole district. And we have been able to cover 583 villages where we are operating. Kasese and Kabarole together have a population of over 1 million, and our operation is in 25 sub-county with a population of 500,000 where we are rolling out. As of now, we have trained 133 VHTs who are sensitizing pregnant women at village level, where they are working or where they are serving as community health workers, to give rich information in terms of ANC and also delivering from health facilities, which is also supplemented by our technology solution that is sending reminder messages to these pregnant women to come and do routine ANC at health facilities. ANCs, antenatal care. The practice was these antenatal care dates were written in the antenatal cards of these pregnant women. But now we send them a reminder message on their mobile phones which reminds them when it comes to antenatal, 5 days earlier, that's 5 days earlier, but again, 2 days before the actual ANC has reached. So of now, we have been able to enroll 5,037 pregnant women on our Family Connect platform, 3,500 in Kasese districts, whereas 1,471 pregnant women have been enrolled in Kasese Kabarole district. So this technology solution is helping us to increase ANC attendances, but also which is helping out health facilities to manage their expectant mothers through scheduling ANC antenatal ANC dates according to the different needs of these pregnant women. Thank you very much. Yes.
So I hope you can still hear us. There was just a question in the chat and JB is going to answer. Just so you know, for context, we're sitting inside and we can't hear ourselves. Like we're sitting next to each other and we can't hear anything. So if you can hear us, that's great. This was the question.
On the question of whether we are receiving resistance, no, we are not receiving resistance. Instead, we are receiving a lot of need that is beyond our reach, that is beyond our touch. They look quite many, and indeed there are quite many villages, but when you go in, like I said previously, that once you enter community, the expectations are high because their problems are dynamic. They have this, they have hunger problems, let me say, they have nutrition problems, they have health issues, they have social issues. Like I said, the domestic violence is common in this region. So once an organization like BAMA penetrates a community, the expectation is that BAMA is universal, is touching each and everything. So there is no resistance, but instead we are bombarded with a lot of issues, but we have to stick into our lane, which is maternal and child health services. Yes, for sure, the villages are quite many, no resistance at all, but the issues are wide. They are wide. Thank you.
If there are any other questions, please ask them in the chat because we really can't hear with the rain. That'd be really nice. I also, just reading this from Julia, thank you, understood, glad we are accepted. What is the biggest limiting factor in serving the communities? Personnel, supplies, other. Maybe I'm passing back over. And then, yeah, to the board, if you have more questions, please kindly also ask them in the chat. And then soon we will flip the side just so the team can also ask the board some questions.
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, basically personnel for the Family Connect intervention in the project, we have 133 VHTs. But again, when you look, okay. Okay, members of the village health team. But again, when you go on ground, it is 25 sub-counties. But again, we have very many villages that are within a sub-county. So you find our community health workers are constrained by covering more villages, more so actually leading to leaving out some of our beneficiaries, that is the pregnant women. And the challenge again comes in when people get aware of an intervention like the technology solution of Family Connect. Where we are not, people keep asking, why are we not reaching out to them? So there is a challenge in terms of personnel at the village level, and our activities are all embedded and start basically from the village as they move to the health facility. Any?
Okay, thank you very much, Donald. So we had budgeted, because we worked on the budget when we were still in Kalisizo. So there are things that we hadn't included in our budget that are really rising up, because those 133, we had not planned for them. However, since they are moving to different villages, they want to be facilitated for their transportation. Also, there are some other difficulties when it comes to budget. I'm going to give our finance and accounts assistant to give us some of the.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Actually, there was gross under budgeting because the project is financed by both BAMA and Enabel. So we reached a time in that when we reached in the implementation part, there was a change in the various implementation modalities, which came with extra finances to be spent, and yet our budgets were seriously under budgeted. So that is also a limiting factor to us, and we find that we have to roll our heads to see on which budgets to draw some activities. Thank you.
Let me just add just quickly, because Kamanze mentioned the vehicles. Without the ability to get our staff to the remote villages where they're doing their work, it's very, very challenging to implement all of our activities. And just to give you an idea, the vehicle that Kamanze mentioned has over 500,000 miles on it. So it is really beyond its life. So we talked yesterday in the board meeting about where BAMA USA donations really are essential, because it's almost impossible to get government funders to fund things like vehicles. They just don't want to do it. And it's obviously an essential part of program implementation. So the team is just confirming some of how important BAMA USA board engagement really is.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right.
Sorry.
We haven't had any other questions in the chat. And given that we have only 11 minutes left, I would really give this opportunity now to the team, because they have some burning questions as well, and they would love to meet the board as well. And, you know, just like you think sometimes you're disconnected from the team in Uganda, they may just also think, well, who is on the board actually? So this is also just a casual chat for them to ask the questions. And I think JB has the first one.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, before I ask this question, I want to appreciate this opportunity, because it is one of the kind. I'm getting a second opportunity to speak with you, and I mean, I've worked for BAMA. This is my 4th year. So thank you. My first question is, I have a couple of them, but let me ask two. One is, how do you get on board for BAMA? What are there qualifications? Is it passion? I mean, I don't know. This is what is running in my mind. Well, how do you get on this board? Then secondly, my second and last question is, where do you get the, how do I call it? Where do you get the comfort to look for money and send it to people, the implementers, we who are on the ground? You've never met us. And where do you get the comfort to send a lot of money that is, that of course, that is having a lot of impact to us and our communities, but you are not here, you are not seeing physically this impact? Where do you get this courage? Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I just want to say to the local team here, maybe we all move a bit closer so we can hear with the rain as they answer. We're going to place the laptop in the middle.
And it would be great to hear maybe from one or two different board members. Stacey, for example, just recently joined, like very, very recent. She's in the website since yesterday, and also yesterday was the first board meeting, so welcome again. And Leslie has been on the board for quite some time, for example. So it would be great. And Kadu has been on the board for years. So yeah, I invite the board to just share your experience and your answers on this. Of course.
I'll share mine briefly. I think getting on the board, I think everyone brings, I don't know if there's a hard requirement, but there is, I think everyone brings a certain skill set. You know, I think the board is made up of, you know, doctors, finance people.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I need to interrupt. We can't hear anything. So I'm wondering, we have 2 laptops. Maybe we split up into teams. You go here and we go there, just so we're closer to the microphone. So Stella can turn on the volume and we can. Sorry about this, but we just can't hear anything with the brain right now otherwise.
No worries. So I don't know if this is any better. I'll try to be brief, but I was just saying that I think everyone on the board brings.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the roof. That's the problem. This is terrible timing. Since we arrived, it's the first rain, and of course it's now. Oh, and what if we're here? Oh. But then we are too far away. So, so we need to go. Sorry about this. Just so you know, in New York, we're walking around right now with these laptops, trying to get close to the Wi-Fi, which is also weak, and walking around trying to be under any roof to be able to hear you. It's very difficult, but if you can also type in your answers, that would be great. That would really help. They're gonna type something. So yeah, maybe we just can't talk right now. Sorry about this. Maybe just type the answers to the board members. Apologies for this, but that would be a great support. And maybe we can just find a quick way of repeating this another time. Bad timing. That's it here, maybe.
Say it's from you, though, because otherwise they think it's from me.
Mark, can you just mute yourself? Okay, just so you know, we found a speaker. So we're trying to connect to a Bluetooth speaker for the last 4 minutes so we can hear you.
Okay. For the last 3 minutes, I hope it works now. We are connected to the speaker and we do hope that it works. Maybe someone can just unmute themselves very quick, Julia, for example, and then just say something and we can see if it works.
Hi, is it better?
Perfect. We got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
thank you
put
guys.
this in the chat, but I just to address the questions that were asked, which I appreciate. We get comfort in terms of where the money is going and what we're raising it for by these kinds of calls and just interacting regularly with Mark and Katharina, who are our liaisons to you guys in the field, as it were. And in terms of requirements for the board, we were just talking about that at our board meeting last night, as a matter of fact, and it's been an ongoing topic of conversation. But in general, it's a minimum fundraising target and a positive attitude, a willingness to make a difference, and a why, a connection to the organization's mission.
All right, then Wilbert used Mark's phone. Just so you know, it wasn't Mark who asked it. Do you want to ask the question in the chat?
Yeah, I was to elaborate more about the question. I was inquiring, as I'm part of finance, what challenges do you guys face that side when you're trying to raise for us funds? I understand when you call for donations, other people shy away. So if you can elaborate more about the challenges you face, and also you understand predominantly our budget is financed by donations. Do you have plans of seeing how we can become self-sustainable, like having some income-generating projects? It would be very great if we're talking now, we're saying 80% of our budget is funded by ourselves, other than donations. Can become very, very great, because that will be sure of our sustainability.
So I'll take that quickly and others can jump in. I think the biggest problem, I'll speak for myself, but I suspect it's for others, is just asking. Just, setting the time aside in what are very busy schedules that we all have, and just, identifying people in our networks to ask and communicate the message about what the organization is doing. So I think a lot of people do want to give. They just need to understand, what opportunities are out there.
And I'll just say that's coming from Julia, who's our board chair, and also is a master fundraiser. She always is amazing in terms of her results. So she may have some challenges asking, but she's very good at getting. So.
And I can just read out one more answer from Stacy that's in the chat. She said, in my experiences, and she used to do a lot of fundraising and corporate, like CSR and so on, really successfully. She says, in my experiences fundraising for Africa-based health programs, it's really important to have good, strong data that shows impact and stories that put a face to the numbers. And I think this is just also out to all of you, just again saying thank you that you're doing such an amazing job with the M&E and just, collecting all the data. And it's just really outstanding what you guys are doing. And then, sorry, there was just the coffee machine right behind us.
Sorry,
Mark, terrible timing.
Latte, sorry.
How can you do that when we already have issues with sound? But yeah, no, I think this is just really good. And also, as we started with more of like personal stories and following up, and JB recently interviewed some together of the beneficiaries, I think you're just doing an amazing job. So thanks again for this. Yeah, Stella.
Thank you very much, everyone. My question is, when are you guys coming to Uganda? Because we really want to meet you, or you take us all that side. So that we can. They have plans of coming, so that we can see and then put to faith the people that are doing it. Well, thank you very much.
I invite all board members to respond. Well, to break the silence, as you are getting, more confident to unmute yourself for me and booking your flights, we can highly recommend where to stay. And you have the best drivers around, so you'll be safe. What I just want to say is that when I joined as a board and I shared with you guys here, and I'm just looking at our staff here in Uganda, I shared with you the story. So when I joined in summer of 2022, and then I came in on, I think it was October or November that year, that's the reason I'm still here, because it's really because of you. And this was probably even it was only for a week, it was the best decision I could have done. And it's not just I'm going on a trip and I'm just coming for 1 hour to say hi, but really spending time here. It's been the best 5 days possible. So I hope now I motivated some of our other board members to find an answer to the question.
Yeah, and it would be great if not just one, but several board members could come. We actually organized a trip, but COVID and Ebola kind of scuttled our plans a number of years ago. But it would be wonderful to time a trip right around this time of the year so that the board members could also participate in our annual retreat. That would be really, really wonderful, just as a way to celebrate together all the work that we're really doing together. So I'm just going to say that I've been on a few of these meetings. This one was by far the best. A really, really amazing contributions from you, the staff, but also great feedback and questions from the board. So I hope you all agree that this is wonderful. And I thank you all, both those of you in the US, those of you here right with us in the Queen Elizabeth National Park, where we are celebrating our retreat.
My friend Marina and I are talking about a trip to Uganda. So this is the best news. And I know that this is true because I have already texted with Leslie about some accommodations, like Villa Katwe, for example, in Masaka. So I know that this is actually true. And JB wanted to say something.
I just want to say to appreciate especially your efforts towards fundraising. Recently, BAMA did the fundraising to build a Kirumba maternity ward, and I was in the middle. I think I was in the center of it. I know how hard it is. But when you guys keep our work, not only to keep our work moving, but also to sustain our salaries and our families benefit from our work, I believe would be unjust to not to appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much. And
giving you a high five.
Just to comprehend JB's appreciation for the Family Connect intervention and UNICEF, really appreciate the contributions or collections that you're making. Each collection you're making or each dollar that you sent, it really supports a mother till she completes her ANC, antenatal contacts. Every time a contribution is made, put it in mind that a mother has been reminded to come to the health facility. I really thank you very much.
So with this being said, I think these are beautiful words to close this great session. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Thank you for your patience with the difficulties in the rainy season. As I said, it was sunny and hot before. All of us were sweating, and right in this meeting, it starts to rain. So that was great timing, Murphy's Law. But yeah, I hope this was enriching. And if there's anything else, any additional questions, either reach out directly or you can just send it to me. And then I'm happy to just, forward this and you will get the answers accordingly. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day and we will wait for the rain to stop.